Hello Tech Loungers, welcome to another episode of Armita's Tech Lounge. In today's video, we will open the IDEs that we had downloaded in the previous video and try to get to know the space better and start programming. We want to finish the last part of the PyCharm IDE installation, so you're going to click on the downloaded file. Click yes. And this page will come up and click next. You have to choose the install location. Like I want it to be the desktop. Desktop. So I will click OK. And then next. And click these. Click all of them and go next. And install. And you have to just wait for it to finish installing. Now this page came up and you have to confirm and click the continue button and wait some more for it to load. Now I have created a new project. You can click here new project and this page will automatically come. So we can get rid of this because we don't need them. It's just an explanation. And now we can start programming. It's as easy as that. Now that we have our space to program, let's start with the print function. So what is the print function? The print function shows messages or values on the screen. It's definitely one of the first things you learn in Python. For understanding it, we need to code and remember, I need you to always have your IDEs open and ready to code in every single video because learning programming has nothing to do with just listening to a teacher or someone explaining it to us. We need to use our hands to type everything and get as many errors as possible. So let's get back to the print function. The syntax is print. You need to open a parenthesis. Just a second. Let me fix this problem. Okay, no, it's correct. You have to choose the Python 3.11. And okay, let's continue. Print and use quotation in the parentheses, and you can type anything you want. So like, I can literally type this sentence, anything you want, but it needs to be in quotations. It doesn't matter whether you're going to use double or single quotations, just remember to finish it with the same quotation. Like this is literally the same as, let's type this again, but you can use a double quotation. You can type anything blah blah blah. These are the same, but you cannot just like start this sentence with like a single quotation and finish it with a double. It has to be the same. So now that we have wrote these two lines of code, let me just simplify it. I was just explaining it. You can write hello world. And this is definitely the most famous code in Python, in any programming language, as I can say. And as I said, put it in quotations, single or double, doesn't matter. Don't forget the parentheses. Remember that you have to type the print exactly. It shouldn't be capital or anything. And you're going to run this code to see what it does. You will click this run main. It's the name of our file. And you can see hello world here. And anything, you can just like write your name. My name is Armita and I will run this code and see Armita here. Anything, you can just type numbers, your name, your age, sentences, words, anything. I want you to pause the video so you can write these two lines of code yourself because it's important to practice and just don't look at the screen and listen to me explaining. You need to get your hands dirty, if you know what I mean. And print your name, print hello world, and congrats, you just started coding. So now, if everything's clear, we can move on to a more complex topic, the variables. First, variables are like boxes. Think of a variable as a box where you can store something inside. And they hold information. You can put different types of information in these boxes, like numbers or words. And you can name them. Each box, aka variable, has a name, so you can easily find and use it later. Now, how can we make these variables and why do we exactly need them? Maybe in my code, I will need to use my name various times. So I can easily put it in a box and put a label on it like name. And whenever I need my own name, I can easily use the word name. So let's start coding. So now we need to create a variable so you can understand it better. I will write name. This is the name. Okay, this is confusing. But this is the label that we have put on the box. Name, it will equal to, you have to use the single or double quotation and put your name here. So basically here, the word Armita has been stored in a box which is called name. And to store it, we just use the equal sign. It's as simple as that. Now I want to make use of this variable that I created. So I'm going to print my name. Print name. So notice how I didn't use any quotations here. It's because when we use quotations, we want that word or sentence to be printed exactly as it is. But now I want to print what is inside my variable name and not the word itself. So there's no need to use any quotations. Now, like you can see here, I'm going to run this code and you will see Armita. But if we're going to use the quotations, you will see the name is going to be printed exactly. But here, I want to print what is inside that box, what is inside that variable. That's why I don't use any quotations. You can store anything in variables, even numbers. Here, I'm going to delete this code and I will create this variable called number. And I'll just put this here and let me do this. I will assign it to the number 80 without any quotations because we use the quotations when we're going to write like a name, a word, a sentence, anything that has the alphabets inside. But this is just a number. It's not a word, it's not part of the alphabet. So we don't use quotations. And we can print the number and you will see and run the code and you will see the number 80 here. Python is a case-sensitive language. What it means is that, let me write a code here. I will assign name that is capital to Armita, and I will print name that does not have a capital N. As you can see, it's underlined. And basically, being a case sensitive language, it means that these two names, one that has a capital N and one that doesn't, are two different possible names for a variable. And if I want to run this code, this will raise an error. It said that name is not defined. Did you mean name? It says that these two are like two different things. It's not the same. You know, name with a capital N and name that does not have a capital N, they're just two different names for a variable. So it's just going to be like, I don't know this name that is not capitalized. And that's why you need to be careful whether you're using the uppercase or lowercase alphabet. And now let's cover the rules there are for naming a variable. In Python, variable names must follow specific rules. They must start with a letter from A to Z, either a lowercase or uppercase, or an underscore, but they cannot begin with a number. Like you can name a variable, I don't know, use an underscore, like what age, and assign it to 17. This is okay. You can use like age is equal to 17, or even the small one like this. These are all different variable names, but you cannot like start with, I don't know, 0 age is equal to 17. This is not okay. As you can see, it's underlined, and if I run this, it's just going to say invalid this decimal literal. Basically, it's a syntax error, which means that it's not the right way to name a variable. And that's why we can now start it with a number. And variable names can include letters, numbers, and underscores. As I said, then it shouldn't start with a number, but it can have numbers in it. But it cannot contain like spaces or special characters like the exclamation point, the at sign, or this I don't know the name for this, but it cannot contain this. And it's important to not use the reserved words or the keywords, which are the words that Python uses for its own purposes. Sorry, such as the word like if, like you cannot assign it to a number. As you can see, the color has changed, or maybe else is equal to, I don't know, or meta, anything. These, as you can see, just underlined. It's not correct, and it's because that it's taken by Python, and they have a totally different use and meaning, and we can just like use them for naming a variable. And as I said, it changes color and raises an error. And let me show you, like if is equal to armita, and even without printing it, it will say no, sorry, I clicked invalid syntax. Try your best at following these rules because it helps to ensure your code runs correctly and is easier to read. Last concept is commenting, and it is so damn simple. Commenting in Python is a way to add notes or explanations to your code. So let's get rid of this. And these notes are just ignored by the computer when it runs your code, but they're very helpful for you and other people who read your code. There are two types of commenting: single line and multiple line comments. For writing a single line comment, you can use a hashtag and write anything you want, like this is a comment and the computer won't run this. And as you can see, the color is dull because it is basically just ignored by the computer. And if you just run this, nothing will happen because it's totally ignored. And for multi-line comments, you can use double quotations and put 3 of them. And what I don't know, this is a comment. It is multi-line. I am programming. You can write this, and again, it's like green. It changes color, and if you run it, nothing will happen. And you might ask, why do we use these comments if it's going to be ignored by the computer? We use comments to write a note so we know that like what a block of code is doing. Like let's use the previous knowledge that we have to create a variable called a name and store armita inside and print the variable. We have already learned this. So we can add comments. Like for example, I can put a hashtag, a single line comment, and this line of code stores the word armita in a box called name. I'm basically explaining it for me, like explaining for myself or anyone that's going to read this code. And here, like this code is printing what has been stored. I cannot type in the box, aka variable. We're going to use the name variable from now on. Name, the variable name, and what is stored is basically armita. So here, like this is because this is like a very simple program, the comments are not really useful. But when they're like thousands of lines, you need to just like explain like what each line is doing, so like everyone and yourself can even understand what is going on. If you're interested in technology and being updated, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button down below and share it with another tech lover just like yourself. See you in my upcoming video. Bye!